Welcome to the Daily Market Recap. Today is Wednesday, May 27th, 2026. What a wild ride on Wall Street. Old economy stocks absolutely stole the spotlight today as the Dow Jones surged over 180 points to clock a brand new record high of 50,644. Meanwhile, the S&P 500 and Nasdaq ended virtually flat as tech took a well-deserved breather. Why the shift? Oil plunged over 5% on optimism that the U.S. and Iran are progressing toward reopening the vital Strait of Hormuz within a month, igniting a massive rotation away from AI darlings and straight into travel and retail. Cheaper fuel bills had consumer discretionary and industrials absolutely soaring today, with cruise lines and airlines leading the charge. On the flip side, energy, technology, and financials dragged on the cap-weighted indexes, though the equal weight market looked beautifully healthy, showing that this rally is broadening out.
So how is the crowd feeling through all this rotation?
CNN's Fear Greed Index ticked up to 61 today. Yes, we are firmly in greed territory. Investors are loving these blockbuster earnings and easing inflation pressures. Our headline story is the dramatic collapse in crude oil. WTI crude plummeted 5% to settle at $88.68, while Brent crude slid below $93. Growing optimism that the U.S. and Iran are resolving tensions to reopen the Strait of Hormuz has traders betting that global energy bottlenecks are clearing. This massive drop eases inflation fears and gives the Fed some serious breathing room. Goldman Sachs threw rocket fuel on the bull market fire. The firm officially hiked its year-end S&P 500 target to 8,000, boosting its 2026 EPS forecast to $340 per share. Strategists noted that explosive corporate earnings, particularly in AI infrastructure, are easily outrunning any broader economic cracks. Snowflake dropped an absolute bombshell after the bell. The cloud software star reported a healthy earnings beat and announced a colossal $6 billion deal with Amazon Web Services to utilize Amazon's new Graviton CPU chips. This massive AI infrastructure commitment completely overshadowed a lighter guidance report from rival Salesforce. Time to look at today's ultimate market winners and the ones who got absolutely wrecked. Cheaper oil and blowout earnings made some stocks skyrocket, while others were left crying in the corner. Let's look at the numbers. Bath & Body Works led the pack, leaping 14.5% on stronger than expected profits, while Abercrombie Fitch followed with a 12% surge. Meanwhile, United Airlines jumped 6.3% and Norwegian Cruise Line cruised up 6.8% as tumbling fuel costs had travel bulls cheering. On the losing end, software company Verra Mobility suffered a devastating 54% crash after slashing its outlook. PDD Holdings fell 8% on a revenue miss. Dick's Sporting Goods dropped 6%, and oil giant ExxonMobil slid 2.2% alongside falling crude prices. For the S&P 500 equivalent, SPY closed virtually flat around $750 and 10 zesh. Keep your eyes on immediate support holding between $747 and $750. To keep the party going, the bulls need to clear heavy overhead resistance at $755 to $758. A breakout there opens the doors to $760. Over on the tech-heavy NASDAQ equivalent, QQQ took a breather, closing slightly lower at $729.44. Technical support is holding firm around $725 to $728. On the upside, we face a tough ceiling at $735 to $738. Bulls need to break $738 to reignite the AI momentum. Small caps on IWM gave back a little to close at $290.37. Key support sits right at its pivot low of $289. If we can trigger a breakout above resistance at $293, IWM could rapidly charge toward its next major psychological target of $300. Now, let's step into the wild world of crypto. It was a rough midweek session as Bitcoin lost its grip on the crucial $76,000 support level, trading down 1.8% to $75,800. Ethereum followed suit, sliding 1.8% to hover precariously close to the major $2,000 support floor. The culprit: heavy institutional outflows. Over $1.9 billion has exited Bitcoin ETFs in the last 7 days, while Ethereum ETFs are on a 10-day negative streak. However, Donald Trump just doubled down on Truth Social, promising to protect the industry and ensure America remains the global crypto capital. Overall, market sentiment remains greedy and incredibly resilient, driven by robust corporate earnings that are easily overpowering geopolitical noise. But do not get too comfortable. Tomorrow morning, the Fed's favorite inflation gauge, the core PCE price index, drops. If it comes in cool, the bulls will run wild. Stay nimble, protect your gains, and I will see you tomorrow.